Howdy guys, Jet Scott here from Scott's Beach Up, and today we are going to continuously work on that old blue pig Jezebel and hopefully get the cooling system hooked up, maybe even get the drive shaft in it, and you know, actually get this thing to run, actually idle and run properly. So let me show you what we did kind of off camera. We redid Dad's fuel line. He wanted to make it look a little prettier, and we got our new Carter Super Street pump, which will be plenty of fuel pump for that. And over the weekend, we're going to plumb our new 3/8 fuel line all the way back. And we are still waiting on that stupid grommet and stuff from Classic Industries. I've gotten all my Summit orders in, but still ain't got that from Classic Industries, which kind of pisses me off. We even got our battery box set up. So we'll be doing all that this weekend and working on our brakes and everything, getting our line lock and all that stuff hooked up. Our master cylinder, which is all modified. Let me show you that. I did this yesterday. Got it all painted and pretty and nice. Went ahead and drilled and tapped a couple holes to get the push rod in there. And yeah, see, bad. The bottom diaphragm on that one's destroyed, but we're gonna get Jezebel's old clutch fan put on her, get the radiator back in it, hopefully find my old hoses. If not, I'm gonna have to go get some. And then we're gonna have to work on getting some spark plug protectors on these spark plugs, figure something out with that conundrum, because it's a pretty bad issue right now. Can't run the engine for too long because we will surely melt these spark plugs and start arcing, and that wouldn't be good. But that's what I'm gonna start working on, guys. I'm gonna set you up and you can watch and hopefully enjoy, so stay tuned. Alright guys, time for an update. Just been doing a bunch of little stuff. Test fitting the radiator, and the big conundrum now is our oil filter lines are running right where the bottom radiator hose wants to be, so we're gonna redo something with that. Dad's home now. Hello, Dad. Yeah. And working on the battery box too, which we ordered from Summit, and it's not quite as advertised measuring. Oh god, I left the widescreen on. You guys got to deal with that. But I went ahead and jig welded a couple plates together. Look at those. Look at those. Just look at those beauties. And what this is going to do, that's going to sit in the bottom. And then we're going to have a stud and a stud that's going to hold the battery in place. On the bottom side of that is going to be a stud that's going to bolt it down to the trunk. So that way it's going to be secure. It's got some weight to it. The battery can't move around. But like I said, Summit Racing's battery box there isn't really the specified measurements they listed. They are the measurements here, but down there they are not. They're about an inch off. And we're going to have our master disconnect switch coming off one end like Dad's car, but unfortunately we can't unless we go to a significantly smaller battery. So we're going to get something figured out. And to show you, I got my glass lens kit from my TIG welder, and that's how I did that baby, and that thing was handy. 35 bucks on eBay. Can't beat that. But we're going to try and get some stuff done, so I'll keep you guys updated. There's going to be a lot of work to be done this weekend, so you guys stay tuned. Hope you enjoy it. Hey guys, and welcome back. Of course, you know, not really a welcome back because it's not the beginning of a video. I'm gonna go ahead and be honest with you. It's Monday, and we didn't do a whole lot over the weekend. We literally just kind of relaxed, took kind of a break, and we went shooting. And mainly worked on Michael's truck a little bit here and there. But I'll show you the one thing I got done over the weekend. Pretty pathetic, but I got the spark plugs protected. What I did was I took this aluminum protective sheathing from DEI, cut it down the middle, wrapped it around the plug, and it's got these little stainless steel metal zip ties on there holding it on there real nice, so ain't gonna have to worry about burnt plug boots. And we finally got our freaking influx of parts from Classic Industries. Took like 2 weeks, but this is our gas tank grommet that goes in the trunk. And I went ahead and put the seal in the gas tank. And our oil filter adapter that Jezebel's always run got broke somehow. Really ruined my mood. And it's not really fixable. That whole chunk is just kind of sitting in there. But we got a brand new Myladin piece, a lot stronger. Even says made in the USA, which very rare sight. You don't see that very often anymore. Got ourselves our Summit Racing proportioning valve. Vlad, my good friend at Invincible Extreme Muscle Cars, he did a video on this on his Firebird a long time ago, and we saw that and we're like, that's what we want to get. His was a Willwood version. It's the same thing almost, so I think this is a Willwood that's just been painted over. But we got that. We got the special little funky bracket, and the plan with this is we're gonna modify this to kind of just bolt onto our factory master cylinder like so. Stupid two-wheelers in the way. But drill some new holes, kind of get it mounted somewhere in there, something. So that way we got this proportioning valve instead of the factory crap that's currently living where the headers want to live. We got that. We're also going to work on getting our line lock Hurst roll control setup put in there. And the current major debacle is our battery box. So we've ordered 3 different battery boxes, and none of them are really the right size. I even made a battery hold down of some aluminum I had. And I think we're just going to have to run with a smaller battery instead of that Group 27. We're going to have to run with like this 65-2 Autocraft style. It's a little smaller. But hopefully we can get that box right there to work, because it's the biggest one we got so far. And I'm tired of ordering parts from Summit. And hopefully going to get this here training mount in. And I ordered some GL3, GL4 style equivalent gear oil, because when you're dealing with an old 4-speed like an A833, when you go to the parts store, you want to ask them what gear oil you're getting, because old 4-speeds do not like the GL5 or GL6 according to Dan Brewer, because they got like a limited sip modifier, and that'll burn up your synchros and mess up the transmission over time. So I had to special order some GL3 or 4, and Napa said that should be in by the end of the day. So we're hoping to get that in the transmission, put the drive shaft in it, and actually let this thing run and idle and rev the shit out of it, because it's going to be badass. So that's kind of the plan. Got real high ambitions for this video, but we're going to try and get as much done as we possibly can. And you guys will know by the end of the video what we've accomplished or what we haven't accomplished. So stay tuned. So first things first we want to get done is we want to go ahead and get this gas tank sealed up. We got our new grommet in there. And we're going to have to do something about these lines hanging out, get them kind of figured out. But we're going to get our filler neck in there, which I painted gloss black, and I'm just being stupid, but I painted the top of it gold. You'll see that through the gas filler, but I'm gonna get that baby put in there, and I'll show you guys once it's installed, and hopefully that doesn't keep falling and getting scratched up, because that's going to bother me. So let's get this gas tank fixed up. Alright guys, so we finally got that. I was going to do it all in speedy footage, but thought I lost a screw there for a minute. But it was too much of a pain in the ass. These holes didn't line up where the damn, so I just had to sheet metal screw them and do a hole a little bit close, a little further away, because the actual holes are like here, and this one was like here. But she's in there really taut. She ain't gonna leak nothing. Lost the O-ring to our air shocks, but it's okay because we're losing those. Got our fuel gauge wire run up through, re-spliced. We'll put some heat shrink on there so that way it don't get frayed anymore. But there it is, and bam. It got scratched up pretty good, but it's kind of funny. I take out this is from a coffee can, Folgers Aroma Seal, and it pops open like that. But when you put this in there, just how thin that is, you shut her, she locks open like I would imagine that is supposed to. But just keeping that in there to keep any kind of rain out of there, because that's an original 68 cap, and that thing's seen way better days. And oh, there's those screws I was looking for. Great. But that's done. Let's move on to the next piece. Okay, so I know I'm jumping the gun now because we ain't bench bled that master cylinder, but I want to see how this fancy old guy doohickey is going to work. So I got one bolt technically in there. We lay this guy in there, and that wouldn't be terrible, but it's really close to the inner fender. So I'm thinking about maybe putting this guy on the opposite side of the master cylinder, but I really don't like it being anywhere near those headers. Those headers are just not a good thing to be by. Man, I guess I'm just gonna keep playing with this to see where I like this. I might make a new bracket. We actually ordered this bracket. I was watching Dylan McCool's newest video with his Challenger, and he put his on the inner fender well side of his Challenger, so I figured, get that one. Maybe that'll work. Charger's a little different, so figure out where the hell I'm gonna put that. So I might make a new bracket, might bend this one, might do some hocus pocus, but we're gonna get that baby put on there somehow. We gotta also mount this some gun. I wish I had the instructions, so I'm gonna do some digging, because we get that baby put on too. So keep showing you guys as we keep rocking and rolling. Stay tuned. All right, guys, time for a little update. It started to rain on me, so I had to throw some covers on the old engine. I went ahead and got the voltage regulator bolted down, you know, little stuff, kind of tore up the grommet. Yeah, it'd be fine. And started test fitting the new Mileton oil pump, you know, the oil filter relocation deal. And looks like even with our new 90-degree fittings, it's still gonna have to snake around the bottom radiator hose, which is not great, but it's not a bad thing. So hopefully that'll work out pretty good. And that's kind of what's going on. Still thinking about that master cylinder. So I think we're probably gonna call it a night here pretty soon. And if it ain't raining and crappy tomorrow, we're gonna work on maybe getting that tranny mount in. And you know, my GL3, GL4 oil should be in today, but it's hard to say. That shit's getting harder and harder to get. So hopefully that'll get here soon, so we can maybe get the drive shaft in and really get to hear this thing rumble to life. Keep watching, guys. I promise there'll be something good eventually. Welcome back, guys. And today it is 65 degrees or something like that. It's really nice. Probably gonna be our last super beautiful day. And we got some solutions to some of our biggest problems, including this Summit Racing / Wheelwood proportioning valve. So we got their little funky bracket, and we were having issues with getting it fitted yesterday. And Dad and I came up with a solution. We're going to basically take this bracket and throw it. And we're going to make a new mounting plate. It's going to come off here, come around. We're going to bend it down, and it's going to mount that baby right about there. Or here, or here, or there, or like here, you know, wherever. So that's what we're going to do. I'll show you what we got. We got our steel here all cut out, or all measured out at least. So originally we thought about cutting the bracket out and adding it in here, so we got a nice deal already, but I think we're gonna just try and drill the holes out, weld a couple nuts on it, and call it a day. But we're gonna cut out here to 4 1/8 inches, and then we're gonna bend probably right about here with some heat, and we're gonna drill a hole and a nut and a bolt on this side, and that's going to secure it to the inner fender well. And that's basically what we're going to do. So we're going to break out the plasma cutter, get that baby cut out, and start actually making some progress. All right, there's our plate. Got a little off on my lines, but we got dead on that one. That one we're a little low, or a little high on, which is fine because the grinder will take care of that. So we're going to take that over to the vise, chuck it up in the vise, start making this baby how we need it. Clean it up and get ready to start bending it and doing all the fun stuff. Get this baby drilled, and we'll break out the old TIG welder, weld on some nuts on the backside, and make that into something usable. Bam. All right, guys, time for a little update. Battery's charging for the old drill. Here's what we got so far. I don't move this too much. So we got one hole drill, and we just got a nut on the back. That'll get welded right there. And basically that's how it's gonna look. I'm getting ready to mark out our secondary hole. And if I didn't move this, you look at that real closely, all those ends are equal except for that one because it's taller. But that's kind of how it's going to look. I think I'm going to get the plasma one more time, and I'm going to cut a relief in case we ever have to change out this brake light switch. Because right now it'd be kind of a pain in the ass to change, so we might do a relief cut right there, right here. And basically that's going to look. And then we'll get out the torch and we'll heat it up right about here and do a straight, and probably like not a 90-degree bend, but like a 70 to match the contour of everything. So this sits like this, and that piece sits like that. And that should be how it looks. So I'll show you guys once she's done. Alrighty guys, so bam, bracket bent perfectly on the first try, nailed it. Went ahead and got the nuts welded on. And there's a little tip for you: if you're ever going to weld on nuts, screw in a bolt. That'll keep it from distorting the threads. You kind of sacrifice a bolt in kind of a way because you lose all the heat temper in it, and the nut technically too, but couldn't get that. If I was smart, I would have welded these nuts on first, but I need to clamp it in the vise, so it's no big deal. We're just missing that little bit right there. It's not a huge deal. That one's fully welded all the way around. So we're gonna let this baby air cool because we don't want to quickly, you know, cool this off with water. That'll mess with the molecular structure of the steel, and where it's not a structural piece, we're just gonna let it air cool, take a little break, and then we'll get our bracket put on there. Make sure it really will work on the car, and then we'll clean this up, get it painted all pretty, and start working on where we're gonna mount it in the car as far as drilling our holes and whatnot, and portion valve will be done. Bam! Fast forward a couple hours, and bam! Painted, stamped it Scots, as we've been starting to do with all of our parts we custom make. Put a lightning hole there, just for shits and giggles. You'll be able to see the B5 blue in the fender there. Had to actually cut that nut back off, which was a pain in the ass because it broke the bolt off and it didn't want to release. So had to re-weld another one on there. Didn't weld the underside, so it'll be fine. It's strong. Test fitted like 100 different times. And I'll show you. Had to take this hood hinge off to get the holes drilled. But right in there is where it's going to live. Hole 1, hole 2. We can get to them both. So once that bracket's dry, we'll get it mounted. Always test fitted again. Make sure nothing moved on us, but looking pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Keep on watching, guys. There'll be more to see. Dad, you're home.
I'm home. I am home.
Dad's taking the old portioning valve apart because we don't need it no more. Trying to salvage what lines we can. While we got the car in the air, don't mind, it's not safe, but we don't care right now. At least I don't care. I'm getting this tranny cross member all duded up so we can get it in the car, get the transmission properly supported, and I want to at least get that drive shaft on. Yeah, that face tells you it all. We're running out of time, so I'll catch you guys here in a second. Oh, the sky's pretty, Dad. Look at that. Look how pretty that is.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna take a picture of Jezebel before I actually film all that. All right, I got my photo. So we're gonna wait to do the old portion and valve because we need to get this baby bench bled, and we'll dick with all that later. But you're probably not gonna be able to see nothing underneath here, but we got Jezebel's honk ass drive shaft back in her. Yeah, you can't see nothing. Transmission is supported, all that fun stuff. So that's just, Dad got the gas line out right there, a factory original 5/16.
Give me a little template to bend the new one.
Yeah, and we just got to remember we got that one section chopped off, which I think is still in the garage somewhere.
Well, I can just this part here, and then that'll be for basically a straight run.
Yeah, we could do a connector right there.
Well, I'll try to keep it all one.
Yeah, but we got that out. That's the rubber that goes straight to the tank.
That's gonna be 1/2 inch. So.
Oh, remember when I shoved that little doodad on Michael's air cleaner, that little booger? He put it on my hammer. Thanks, Michael. Thanks. he said he wouldn't tell me where he put it. Now I know where he put it. Daggone. Oh, I guess we're gonna go stash this little booger. It's not really a booger. It's what was that? I can't remember what that is, but we're just gonna go stash all of this on Michael's toolbox somewhere. There we go. Payback is a bitch, Michael. Payback is a bitch. But that's what we got done today, so I guess now I need to really go and review footage and see if we got enough for a video. If not, I'll see you guys. Tomorrow's Wednesday. So Thursday. I'll see you then, guys. Alrighty, guys. So, yesterday was a whole lot of working, and, well, I forgot to get the camera out. Because it was a bunch of little, piddly crap. And I'll show you what I started working on. I know this video's all over the place. I apologize. But we're just doing a bunch of the little stuff we need to get done. Bam. Steering column tore apart. Getting it ready. So I went ahead and cut off the column shifter piece. And we got this baby all cleaned up, smoothed over. Got all the stuff inside working real nice. And I'll show you. So when we're also, so the basic reason why we got all this apart right now is this was a power steering column. And you can run an adapter to get the manual steering to work. But I don't really like the idea of an adapter, so we got a manual steering shaft, the black one, and that's how much longer it is. That's what your adapter takes up. So what we're doing is we're changing out to this manual steering shaft. It'll go in there, and we got the hole drilled right there for the safety interlocking system. That's 1970 and later. And we got our new cupwork gasket on here, and we're going to rebuild the cupwork, get the new pin pushed in. But one thing that always kind of bothered me about this guy is it wobbled a lot right here at the end. There's supposed to be a bushing right here. And instead of buying something and waiting a couple days, maybe a week, I made something. It's like 3 different pieces of PVC pipe, schedule 40, JB welded together. The baby's going to get pressed in there, set with a set screw, and that'll help support the end of the steering shaft. So we're going to get that baby pressed in today. And by pressed in, I mean we're going to beat the ever-living hell out of it with the old hammer. And hopefully not destroy it, because it took quite a bit to make. Took quite a bit. Yeah, here's our first piece. We had to shave that down. And then this little cap pushed into there, and that guy goes inside the cap. A lot of work. You know what? Saved us, whatever that piece had cost. Is it necessary? Not really, but pretty proud of that. So I'm going to get that done. Hopefully get the steering column all put back together. And in fact, there's a guy, I'll leave a link in the description, who did a really good video on rebuilding his 70 Chargers column. And if you want to see like an in-depth video on how to rebuild one of these suckers, go check him out. But as for now, I'm going to get to work, get this column back together, hopefully get it painted, so that way we can close this video out and you guys got a video to watch, because it's Friday, and I got to get my ass into gear and get this video out for you. Alright, just a quick little update. So, that failed on us. I messed up. I went ahead and pre-installed this, where I should have had it on the collar down here before I put the coupler on, which, don't mind the zip ties, I destroyed the new retainer, so zip ties will work. But I had to break this out, and we're just not going to run with it. See that? But that's the kind of the slop you get. But ultimately, the column is attached to the steering box here, and the firewall up there. So really, all this does is a dust cover. I was just hoping to make it work, because I was kind of proud of that. But I guess, as goes with things. So now we're going to get all of our steering column reassembled, all that crap. And hopefully get this baby finished out in a timely manner, so that way you guys got something to watch today. So, let's get this baby finished out. Sweet. And kablamo, guys, there it is. Our steering column is reassembled. Still got to paint it. Dad wants me to leave it, the bare aluminum casting, but I think we're just going to go ahead and paint her black. But everything's working still. That's a damn miracle, because I touched this whole thing, had it all blown apart. Thank God for that manual right there. And found out our little bushing wood never worked anyways, because I was measuring this shaft, and this is the shaft that actually sits in here, so this would never work. It's too small. However, I could have just used one of these PVC caps, hogged it out, and that probably would have worked. But you know what? Oh well, it don't matter. And this is probably going to be permanent because I like it. It's hocus pocus, and that matches our build with Jezebel. So there it is, guys. I'm going to go inside, get this baby edited. But there's our steering column. Look at that. I even painted that little piece of chrome. Look at that. But if you're new to the channel, please stay tuned for more of these videos. Well, maybe not so much like this one, because this one is pretty messed up. I'm not real proud of it, but we are working on our 70 Charger Jezebel, which you have seen, obviously, prior in this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. You know, the big old thumbs up, as my brother would say. Leave a comment down below, because I may or may not reply to you. I don't know. It depends on how the day's going. And if you're new and you enjoy this stuff, normally we got the family here and we're all joking around, messing around, playing pranks on one another. You know, maybe even subscribe. That'd be cool. You guys are all cool. I appreciate all your support and whatnot. But hope to see you guys in the next one. Because hopefully here, sooner or later, we'll be getting to drive Jezebel. And, oh, that's going to be a cool moment. And I was hoping to get her run in this video, but we didn't. But it'll be next week, I promise. And maybe even we'll have a midweek video of her cackling, because she should be cackling here pretty soon. You guys stay tuned, and hope to see you in the next one. Take care, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Alrighty, guys. So, let's get to filming. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's make sure we're all pretty. Oh, yeah. See? But we got that mirror there. Now we're pretty enough for video.